Paducah, and all points in between. We give you an in-depth and sometimes extremely opinionated view of the Wildcats. The phone lines are now open. It's Wildcat Sports Talk. Let's join the two guys that bring the action every single week. Adam Webb and Tim Brandstetter.
Welcome into Wildcat Sports Talk. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in here on the show tonight. We have a lot to talk about. I'm going to be laying some of this stuff out for you tonight. And we're really going to dive in here, okay? Because I've been getting a lot of flack, a lot of it, and it's unnecessary. And it's all because you guys have this notion that, when things are going off track, even just a little bit, you want to make the drastic move, right? So the loudest people always find the microphone when it's wrong. When something's going wrong, the loudest people are the ones with the problem. Mark Pope needs to be fired. Mark Pope is not Kentucky. Mark Pope is somebody who cannot win here. And I'm telling you right now, that take is lazy. And there's these gotcha folks out there yelling, fire him. They're the same folks who were screaming, we're back. Yeah, the second Kentucky beat somebody ranked, or even Saturday when they beat Vanderbilt. Give credit when all that goes right, and then they want a new coach when it gets hard, right? So that's not how winning programs are built. That's how you turn into complete and total chaos. So let's just use facts, not feelings. So as of today, right now, Kentucky is 19-11 and is sitting fifth, now tied for fifth in the SEC. Now, that's not my opinion. That is where it is. And before somebody says, well, yeah, but, Kentucky standards. And okay, cool. All right. Let's have that conversation. Kentucky standards also mean you don't act like a clown organization that panics every time you hit a rough patch. Yeah, I just got you there. And yes, there has been a rough patch. And yes, you're exactly right. There has. Your most recent losses, right there, black and white. Okay, they're down on your screen. But the most recent, Florida, to a ranked Florida team, they lost 92-83. They did lose to Georgia, 86-78. That's a bad loss. I'll give you that. Auburn, 75-74 on a call that was complete BS. March 3rd, Texas A&M, 96-85. So if you want to be real, be real. That stretch happened. But here's where the fair weather fan logic breaks. They act like those losses mean the whole foundation is broken, and that is not how college basketball works. Not in this league and not in March. And I'll tell you this right now, it's not in this league, but it's this NIL space and everything that has been, and we're going to dive into more of that later. The JMI deal with Kentucky is absolute garbage. Tim and I are going to discuss that. But let's talk about this league because context matters. Okay, Florida's literally first in the SEC standings right now. So when people act like losing to that Florida team, the top team in the league, is some unforgivable sin, I'm just going to say it, you are telling on yourself. Now, let's get to the big point. The fire Pope crowd, okay? And there's a lot of you on here that are like, oh man, we just won't, we can't have this. These standards aren't what it's at. Okay, look. Y'all want instant perfection. And good, I get it. This is a world of instant gratification. And the quickest way, though, to burn your program to the ground is that right there. Do you understand? You will burn Kentucky to the ground acting like that. Mark Pope is not coaching some veteran roster that's been together for 4 years. Okay, this is modern college basketball. Roster churn is real. Chemistry takes time. Defensive identity takes time. Toughness takes time. And it's not just vibes, it's reality. Okay? Now, if you want another fact, Kentucky's program is even publicly navigating injury timelines and availability conversations, including optimism, of course, around Jaden Quaintance possibly working toward practice again as the postseason approaches. Now, that matters. That impacts rotations. So while I'm excited about that, it impacts what you can run. It impacts who you trust in late game moments. Folks, these roster rotations that you're complaining about, let's just be real. Mark Pope probably knows more than we do. Now, here comes the part that really gets you quiet, okay? Mark Pope is under a contract that Kentucky signed for a reason. Now, the deal was reported as a 5-year agreement that began on April the 12th of 2024, and it includes a buyout set at 75% of the remaining money if he's fired without cause. Okay? 75%. That is the university saying, we believe in the plan. We're going to build this the right way. So, again, I'm not saying, and now we're going to talk about Mitch Barnhart and JMI later. That's a whole other disaster. And the whole thing with Mitch Barnhart, listen, you want to be mad at somebody, be mad at him. That's the problem. So when someone casually says, fire him, what they're really saying, and what you're saying right there is, I don't care about reality. I'm mad after a loss. I'm going to go cry in my corner. And if you want to talk about pressure, Mark Pope is taking it. Yeah, he got fined $25,000 by the SEC after the Auburn game because of that BS call that I just referred to earlier. And you can feel however you want about that, but it proves the point. This is not a soft job. Not everybody wants it. This is the hottest seat in America. When you lose 2 in a row, and he's still standing in it, he's still recruiting, still coaching, still fighting, he's right there. When you lose 2 in a row, I mean, it's just, I mean, how? How do you make it happen? Now let's do the comparison game, because I know how y'all think. You're like, well, this, well, this happened. Okay, we can do that. Think about how many great coaches had bumps early in their career. Think about how many fan bases wanted a guy gone before it clicked. Now imagine if those schools listened to the loudest callers after year 2, people like you. Imagine if Michigan State fires Tom Izzo early. Or what if Villanova fired Jay Wright? Right? Virginia, what if they fired Tony Bennett? UConn gives up on Dan Hurley before it becomes, fully becomes what it became. And that is what fair weather fans do. They throw away the long term for the dopamine hit of a rage post. And I don't understand why. And again, I've been guilty of being upset. But when you really sit down and think about it, it's not that serious. It's just not. And I'll make it even simpler. If you fire your coach every time you hit adversity, what top-level coach is going to line up to take that job? You think Todd Golden's coming here? You're telling every candidate that you get no runway, no chain. You get no time. Fix it. One bad February, you're gone. That's how you end up living in the carousel forever. Just look at Indiana. Look at Indiana. I mean, Tennessee football is a prime example of that. Tennessee football. Lane Kiffin, they fired him. Are we that? Now, Kentucky's not supposed to be a carousel. Kentucky is supposed to be a destination where coaches come and they can retire here. Now, here's my challenge to you fair weather fans, okay? And I don't care. You could say that you're not fair weather. You are, okay? You are. I'm calling you out, and that's fine. Tell me what you actually want. Do you want a program or do you want a mood swing? Are we men or women? I don't mean that, but I'm but you have to live through the ugly road stretches. You just have to. Are we emotional or are we going to be realistic? All right. You have to live through the March pressure, and it's going to suck. Likely playing Wednesday. You have to live through a 1-point loss at Auburn and not act like the sky just fell. And if you want a mood swing, okay, well, keep posting fire Pope after every loss, but don't jump back on the train when it turns around. All right? We beat Florida. I don't want to hear from you. You don't get to say, oh, yeah, this is great. I'm so behind this team. You don't get to do that. Because that's the part that drives real fans crazy. The same people who disappear when it's tough are the first ones screaming, I told you when it's good. Mark Pope does not need to be fired. That idea is absolutely asinine. It's not based in reality. It's based in entitlement. You can criticize a rotation, but you can criticize late game execution. Hey, there's several times I criticized it. You can criticize a defensive possession, but and again, I've done that. That's sports. But firing a coach because you hit adversity in the toughest basketball league in the country, you can't possibly be serious. You just can't. So here's where I land tonight. If you're with Kentucky, be with Kentucky. Not just the logo, not just the highlights, not just the wins. Be with Kentucky. Now, when it's hard, be there. That's what real fan support is. We got to get behind these guys. It's March. What we are is what we are, right? And to Mark Pope, keep building, keep coaching, keep swinging. I'm behind you. And to the Fairweather crowd, you can either get behind the man wearing Kentucky across his chest, because you know what? For 15 years, I had to put up with the green room and getting 8 guys, 7 guys drafted being the greatest day in Kentucky basketball history. Calipari dismantled our culture here, and the man's trying to build it. Now, if you don't want to do any of that, you can keep chasing the fantasy that a new coach magically fixes everything overnight. But don't call it loyalty. Call it what it is. It's fair weather. That's the bottom line. That is what I got. We're going to take a quick timeout, very quick. And when we return, we're going to have Tim Brandstetter of Brandstetter Music Management, also co-host of this show, joining me via phone. Don't go anywhere.
So now joining me on the line, I've got Tim. Tim, you and I have done this show now. It's actually it came up on my memories the other day. It's been 5 years. 5 years.
Wow, man, that's really hard to believe, because sometimes it just feels like a month ago that we started that thing.
We did, and we got to give some credit. John Hammonds kind of was you and him kind of started it, and then I kind of came along later, and John's doing great for himself, man. I'm real proud of him.
Yeah, John's a good guy, man. He's got a big heart, and he loves Kentucky with everything in him. So he's always going to do good at it.
Yeah, and the thing is, he's up there covering games and everything, living the dream, man. I'm proud of him. So,
Too, I know how much it means to him. He's wanted to do that forever.
yeah, yeah. But hey, uh, man, we've talked off the air about some of this UK stuff, and man, the fans are not real happy with me right now on our page. They're just not. And I feel like for once, me and you are going to agree on something.
Yeah, I've been a little disconnected. I've watched the games, but I've been a little disconnected because I've been so busy with the music management stuff. But I guess you're talking about them not being happy that you are taking up for Pope.
Yeah, no, they're not happy with me at all. And dude, my problem with it is, and I mean, maybe I'm just crazy and maybe I'm stupid or, I don't really know what I am because I say all this stuff and I'm like, well, okay, we, uh, we have, we, here's my problem. Okay. And I said this, I think you and I were sorely mistaken. We were wrong about something. Now, again, I just turned 40, so people hearing me talk now are like, this ain't the Adam I've known for 5 years. No, you're right. Because this Adam is a lot more humble. This Adam I will absolutely eat crow when I have to. And I think you and I were wrong about something. When Coach Cal was here, you and I used to say frequently, when people would say, who are you going to get? We would say what?
Anybody.
I don't think that's the case anymore, Tim.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. And the reason is the landscape of college basketball has changed so much. I hate to say this, man. Trust me, I
Well, I
hate with
mean, but
everything
am I
in
wrong?
me.
Am I wrong in saying that you and I were wrong?
No. Um, well, it depends on how you look at being wrong because I know whenever we were saying anybody, we meant we don't care who they hire as a coach. This chapter's over. It's time to move on. This has proven it's not going to get better. Let's just get anybody in here because when we said anybody, we meant anybody that was going to live up to the standards. Anybody that was good enough to be on Kentucky's radar could come in and win at Kentucky.
Yeah. And now, it, you know, a lot of people are questioning whether or not Mark Pope is the guy for the job. And I'll tell you, for me, I think that he is, but I understand why people would maybe think otherwise. I do.
Yeah.
I understand it. I think he's the guy for the job. I think he's having to deal with some stuff that is ridiculous. The JMI deal is the biggest problem, and Mitch Barnhart has kind of screwed Kentucky on this. And the story came out about Mitch Barnhart. He's retiring, but then he gets this job that's being paid for by the athletic program, and so I'm like, okay. Um, we know that Mitch Barnhart has put in some horrible contracts. Specifically the one with Stoops and John Calipari. And
Yeah.
I don't understand why we continue to do that. But the JMI deal is something that I've got to address, and I need people to understand that for me, this JMI deal is what's happened is they have come in and basically said, if you want to interact with a UK player in any capacity, offer them money, anything, we have to know about it at UK.
Yeah.
And that's terrible. Kids don't want to come here and be told how they can make money. They just don't.
Well,
Now,
you and I both know we were there. We were in the thick of it when the NIL thing first happened, and the way Kentucky handled it. Let's just be honest, was terrible. It was awful. It was so scared that they end up being behind everybody, in my
they were
opinion.
they were not only scared, and look, I don't care because look, you can either credential me or you can't. At this point, at the end of the day, here in the next year, we are going to follow all the protocol to get credentialed again. We're going to do everything you've told us to do. But if you don't want to credential us at UK, I really don't care. That's where I'm at with it. So I'm going to say some things on this call that you and I have never talked about before. The way that you and I have been treated at UK is unbelievable. And people don't understand that we have had to have phone calls over having players on, and we've had to have, we raised our hand during Pope's press conference and was told we were going to get to talk and never did.
Yeah.
Never did.
Man, here's my take on that real quick. My quick take on that is we're not a big corporate owned entity, as the word they like to use, entity, professional entity. We wasn't owned by people that owned half the world, a big multi-million-dollar corporation or a big news outlet, or we didn't play by all the rules, and we didn't have all the money backing and could provide sponsorship dollars and all that. We were two fans with sports backgrounds in sports journalism and sports media that wanted to cover Kentucky from a fan point of view. We wanted to provide the fans that connection.
And by the way, and I'm going to stop. Well, I'm going to stop you right there, because this is the problem. UK is 100% disconnected with the fan base, and that right there proves it. Because here's the thing. Why would you not want two guys that and look, I'm not trying to say that we are anywhere near what some of the others are, like KSR and Nation of Blue and some of those. But
we did build 20,000 followers in the first year.
And now we're reaching, our videos are getting thousands to millions of hits. Do people not understand that?
Yeah.
Why would you not want a fan perspective giving the fans an inside look? Because here's my thing. As fans, we love Kentucky. As media members, though, we also know how to carry ourselves behind the scenes to not be idiots. And UK, though, they hear the word fan and they're like, oh gosh, they're going to be idiots. We can't have that.
Right.
And so this JMI deal, going back to that, has been put in place to keep people from making money off of players without UK knowing about it. And I'm just here to tell you, and people are going to say, and I've heard this 100 times, well, it ain't affected football and it ain't affected women's basketball and cheer. You know why? Because we're not going after the really elite guys in any of those sports.
Right.
Basketball, though, we're going after the guys that can make millions and millions of dollars.
Yeah.
And
it's a whole different scale.
It's a whole different ball game when you start getting to those elite tier guys that are like, hey, this is where we're at. I need this to we need this money, and we don't need to be controlled on how we can make the money. And so that's why we're not getting these guys. Now, I've heard this Tyran Stokes is supposed to be coming back for another visit. He's an elite guy. But if you're looking at this, Tim, and I'll be honest, if you're looking at this, are you worried for Mark Pope's future? And if the answer is yes, what do you think will be the reason for him leaving? Will it be that he's not given enough time because our fan base won't just lay off of his rear end? Or will it be genuinely because he's terrible?
So I am a little bit worried. I'm worried because the landscape of college basketball has changed so much that there's no blue blood teams anymore. I hate to say that, But the thing is, it don't matter where you're at. It's all about the money, the backing, the dollars. So it's not like it used to be. Everybody's getting press. Everybody's on TV. Everybody's on ESPN. Everybody's getting national attention. UK cannot offer anything that any other school in the country can't offer if they've got the same donors and the same amount of money. We do have a great fan base, and what I mean by that, whenever I say great, is we have a fan base that is die hard. I mean, they will travel. They will travel, and
by the way,
did you hear that?
Tim's got about 500 things going on right now, and I always hit him up when he's busy. Always, every single time I call him, he's busy.
Man, I work with these young artists, and they keep me busy.
Yeah, but anyway, you're talking about the donors, and right, you're exactly right. But I think I think the main thing that we want to focus in on is I think our fan base is going to shove him out unnecessarily.
Yes, that's what I was getting to. We've got a great fan base because they're loyal and they show up everywhere you play. They treat you like a celebrity, but also our fan base will also run you off in a hurry because if you don't win every game, somebody's mad and upset. And if you lose 2 games in a row, well, they don't know why you don't get fired right now. And let's just replace somebody the next game.
And if you lose 3 in a row, they don't like you or your family.
Oh no! If you lose 3 in a row, you might want to be careful going home.
Hey man, look. So we've talked about that, and that is what it is. I want Tim to go on record. Is Kentucky beating Florida at home on Senior Day, or are they doing it?
Yes, Kentucky is going to beat Florida at home on Senior Day.
I agree. I agree. And you know what? We're probably idiots, and we're probably going to be wrong. And I hope we're not. But I just have a feeling that they're going to win on Senior Day. And what's crazy about this game is a win could be the difference. A win or loss could be the difference in playing on Wednesday or playing on Friday. We're talking a 6 seed difference between one game.
And now, it's not.
And do you know why that? Do you know why that point is so important? Because it goes back to what you were saying. There's so much now. There's so much parity in college basketball. There's no more blue bloods anymore. That should tell you everything you need to know. When has the last game of the season ever made a 6 seed difference?
Yeah, it never. I mean, never.
So, I feel like that we are in a position right now to if you win, I think the likeliest is that we're probably going to play on Thursday because a lot of things have to happen for us to play on Friday. But I think if you win, we play on Thursday. But right now, a very possible and 100% open scenario is that we're probably going to play on Wednesday if we lose, and so that sucks. And I don't know that we've ever played on Wednesday except for maybe the COVID year. And that was the year that you and I went down there and saw him get beat on a last-second shot with Olivier Sarr. Charmin Ultra.
Yeah.
So,
Now you talking about the SEC tournament we went to COVID year, right? And they yelled at us because we didn't have our mask on, sitting up in the top of the rafters by ourselves.
By ourselves with nobody.
That was actually what's his name? The Kentucky boy missed that shot. He had like 30 that game.
because Sarr had always been hitting that shot, and they somehow, for whatever reason, gave it to which I get it. Dante Allen was great, and he was playing a good game, and he hadn't missed that shot all game, and then he missed it right there.
Yeah, it was unbelievable because that comeback, I remember, was so good in that game, and we were so excited. And then he had the shot he wanted, and then it just missed, and we were just we were brokenhearted, and then we didn't wear a mask on the way out just because we were upset.
Yeah, we we showed them. What are they going to do? Kick us out?
That's what was funny was we're sitting up there, and I mean we're the only people in the whole section up top, the only people, and they kept telling us to put our mask on. We're like, we don't get it. Like what? How's that make sense? So on the way out, we wasn't wearing our mask, and they were giving us funny looks, and we looked at each other and like, what are we gonna do? What are they gonna do? Throw us out? we're leaving anyway.
Yeah. Well, so what do you got going on in Nashville this weekend?
Man, not this weekend. I don't have anything going on in Nashville. We were going to have a big Kentucky takeover with all Kentucky musicians right across from Bridgestone Arena on Wednesday night. All the Kentucky fans were going to be there getting ready for the next day. And then Kentucky was like, no. I don't care if we won 5 in a row. We're just going to play terrible now.
And
so
lose
we can
3 in a
ruin
row.
Tim's plans.
And lose 3 in a row. Yeah. That's what they did.
Yeah. So, man. Yeah, it's frustrating, but everything happens for a reason, I guess. It'll be all right. I've got a lot of stuff going on with my artist, and we're working on some big things, man. I hate missing some games. I hate not doing the show, but this music management stuff is kind of really taking off.
Well, anyway, man, we're going to be all right. Cats are going to win on Saturday, and I think we're going to be all right. I think
we're going to be all right. What about you, Will Finley Smith? What do you think? You think we'll win?
Probably.
All right, Will said we'll win too. Y'all look up Will Finley Smith. He's a great musician out of Kentucky. Dalton Daly as well, Young Guns. Check them out. Support these local Kentucky kids. And, man, I tell you what, dude, before we end this call, I'm a huge Mark Pope fan. I'm still a huge Mark Pope fan. I don't know why people want him to work a miracle. I mean, we've got 2 of the best players on the team on the bench. He beat Calipari.
Two. We got 3. We got Cam.
Yeah, that's right.
Cam,
yeah, 3.
And we got Lowe, and then we've got Quaintance, and we got one. And people don't understand too. Like Calipari destroyed the culture at Kentucky. Destroyed it.
And Pope still beat Calipari with those guys on the bench and him and his little all-star NBA roster. I mean, not COVID. NIL's changed everything, man.
Hey, but listen,
it is what it is.
Listen, I'm hearing rumblings that there's a couple of guys that may want to come to Kentucky, and one is Wagner.
I would take him back.
I would too. I think he would fit in really well with what Mark Pope does.
I was going to say he would now because Mark Pope likes those experienced players.
Yeah. So anyway, man, good to talk to you. Get down there, have some fun, and go Cats.
Welcome back in to Wildcat Sports Talk. Thank you guys so much for tuning in here this week. It's been awesome, and again, you know my take. All right, I love our fan base, but y'all are some unrealistic folks, and this is where we're at. This is what we are. Let's go out and get a big win. I'm going to go on record and say I think Kentucky's going to beat Florida. So here we are. This is it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Until next time, so long.